All right, what is going on, YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day here. And it is, of course, about that time during the update when we see the teaser trailer for the following set of ships. It's usually the campaign ship, but sometimes they sneak in a few extra ships or lines into those videos. We don't quite have that teaser trailer yet, but what I wanted to do in today's video was just go over a few ships that I personally want to see in the game. Now, of course, a majority of our campaigns have been tier 8s recently, so think tier 9s on PC, and again, that doesn't always carry over. We have a few tier 10s, which are tier 7s, and anyway. But I did want to go over this website real quick, as I am actually drawing from the World of Warships PC wiki here. But we actually do have a Legends wiki, which gives you all of the information, about all of the different commanders, the ships, a lot of their different traits, reload times, etc. So if you're looking to just garner some of that information, go ahead and visit this website. I will link both of them down below. And starting off my list here is a ship that I felt like we haven't gotten a Russian battleship campaign in a long time, even a Russian campaign. And a majority of my choices, as I was saying, are probably going to be tier 10s, which are most likely going to be legendary tier ships. But they could figure out a way, for example, and my first choice here is going to be the Kremlin, to add in the Slava as potentially a campaign ship, while also adding in the Kremlin at the same time as a legendary choice. Now, that being said, I just want to see a Russian battleship. We did just get the Borodino, but I want the higher tier ones in the game. I don't know what is taking Legends so long. I know what it is, right? They're probably going to release this as the Christmas campaign ship that costs $250, but alas, the Kremlin is a ship and the number one ship on my list here of ships that I want to see come to the game, preferably through a campaign format. But the Kremlin is the Soviet Tier 10 battleship with 457 millimeter guns. Think of a Vladivostok or Sovetski Soyuz there on steroids. This ship has an exuberant amount of health, 108,000 there, with a 33-second reload of your 457s. Of course, it's got the limited damage cons, and it's very susceptible to HE spam if you can catch a fire, but the ship is pretty well armored there. Moving on to number 2 of our list here, and this ship might surprise a bunch of people, but I was actually looking through a lot of these ships here, and there was one that just kind of jumped out to me that I think would be a great campaign choice, if I can find it here. That should come to the game. Can I choose the category here, please? But yes, the ships of the UK line here, and let's go ahead and scroll on down to cruisers. Now, of course, we need Goliath, we need Gibraltar in the game, and there's a bunch of other cruisers here, Monmouth and other ships, but I think this ship right here, the Nottingham, would be an excellent campaign choice. Maybe even throw it at tier 7. I think it would do pretty well at tier 8, maybe just give it a little bit of health here, but this ship has 203 millimeter guns in a 3x3 format here. Think of something similar to the Hampshire, except with the Hampshire is 203s, but in a 3x3 format there. Now, it does only have 35,000 hit points, but it does actually come with a short burst smoke generator and torpedoes. So, of course, you're looking at the pros and cons here. 9.5 kilometer concealments, good maneuverability, and the forward armament. Now, of course, it's going to have, I presume, a very large citadel, as most British heavy cruisers or British cruisers in general do. But that is, I think, a cruiser campaign would be an excellent choice. We need a lot more cruisers in the game. The game is battleship and recently destroyer heavy, and that's partly due to the community asking for more destroyer campaigns, but I feel like we need a lot more cruisers and good ones at that. Now, again, the player base, they could probably take the Des Moines and Stalingrad and make them look bad, both of which are excellent cruisers. But I just think that we need more cruisers overall and ships that would be a lot more fun to play. Moving on here to choice number 3, as we have ships of the U.S., and of course I had to throw in some U.S. bias in this list, and of course this list is purely subjective. These are all my choices and ships that I just personally want to see come to the game, but I think a ship that would actually be a ton of fun, would make a great campaign, that I know the American whales would buy, would be the USS Illinois. Now, if you've been watching PC and, Potato Quality and some of the other PC streamers, you have seen this ship out on the seas, and it is a doozy here. The Illinois is basically a Des Moines on an Iowa hull. Or Annapolis, maybe even a Buffalo, rather. You've got 12 203 millimeter guns on an Iowa hull. This ship creates for some unique, interesting gameplay, because you don't have that battleship Alpha Strike, but you have insane DPM potential with those 203 millimeter guns there. A 9-second reload is a little bit slower, but with our potential commander perks and inspirations, we could easily get that down to like 7.5 maybe, especially with the legendary tier mod. Can you imagine just rolling around a corner, just getting absolutely chunked with this thing? Now, of course, there's the trade-offs of your speed, your maneuverability, your concealment, etc. But I think this ship would be an excellent addition to the game. Moving on here, we have another, and this pick is so blatantly obvious that it hurts, right? The Hindenburg. Now, we all know that this is going to be a legendary ship. It's probably going to be the Christmas event. They are, like I talked about with the Kremlin, they're probably going to extract every last penny from myself included, and all of you guys, in order to get this ship into the game. The Hindenburg is the German tier 10, just absolute tanky beast of German perfection engineering here. 203 millimeter guns with a 9.8 reload, German torpedoes, 51,000 health, your sonar, your speed. You don't have the absolute best speed and maneuverability, but again, I just don't know why we have, 4 American battleships? BA Montana, Vermont, Ohio. Am I forgetting something else? I don't know, probably. We have 4 American battleships and 3 Worcester there, Des Moines, Alaska. Yeah, 3 American cruisers, but we don't have a single German cruiser at legendary tier. So this ship, of course, if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know that this ship was going to be on my list, but I just don't know what the hell is taking Wargaming so long to put this damn ship in the game. I'm sorry. Wargaming, if you're watching, I know that you guys just tease this on a carrot, you're teasing this ship like a carrot in front of us, but this ship needs to come into the game. But moving on to the final choice or ship on my list here that I thought would make a good addition. We're going back to the UK. We haven't had a pretty good slew of UK ships, and they were actually one of the mightier navies during World War II. The British battleship Thunderer, I think, would be an excellent addition. You could probably make the argument that this could never be a tier 8. However, I'm sure they could nerf it in some way, but I want to see the Thunderer come to the game. Now, I believe Final Boss are one of the community managers, rather, not developers, and that's a good distinction to make. All the people you see on the streams, Robin, Blip, Sahalis, Orochi, Boss, those are community managers. Those aren't developers. But anyway, the Thunderer here is on the list of ships that they said is very... They have to look at it very carefully before they add it to the game, because if you've been watching PC or know about this ship was pretty insane when it came to the PC version of this game. But the Thunder is basically what every British battleship feels like it should be. 457 millimeter guns there, 8 of them with a 26-second reload. 82,000 health, but I do believe you get your super heal there. And this ship is just an HE spamming nightmare at range. With the penetration you get of 457 millimeter guns, your HE can basically obliterate anything in its way. And here it talks about the fire chance, 66% with signals and commander skills in the game, which of course ours don't necessarily translate, but I'm pretty sure it would be close to 60% in if it did transfer over relatively similar to our game. It's got great main battery accuracy with battle cruiser dispersion, and for those that don't know, battle cruiser dispersion is better than battleship dispersion, so just something to keep in mind. And again, dispersion is kind of that oval ellipse that you are shooting into. Increased or smaller dispersion is what you want, because that oval becomes smaller, so you're less likely to hit outside of it. And then, of course, grouping is how those shells group together towards the center. Just a little fun fact of the day there. Again, I think that we could get a lot of these ships. And again, hop on the Legends PC wiki as well as the other wiki, just looking at different ships there. I think The Navarin is probably going to be a campaign upcoming here soon. I think that's a good choice. It's not the most accurate ship, but it's a fun, brawling Russian battleship that I think would break up the mold of this game a little bit. But I just want a ship that isn't completely, I don't know, I didn't, the Michelangelo is certainly fun. It's very tanky. It's got good SAP secondaries, but as I'm actually working on a different video, tankiness, while that is certainly important, is not everything you want out of a ship. You want a ship that can basically do everything. Now, of course, you can't have every ship do everything, but alas, I'm just blabbering here. So let me know what you guys thought of those choices. Let me know what ships you guys want to see come to the game, and I hope you have a great day. I love you guys. Aaron out. Peace.